Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, TheMadKaiger, and up here today, guys, with a game review. We haven't done a game review in a while, and I'm going to be reviewing Halo Wars. I've just got the Xbox 360 version here, just for references, so you've got something to look at. However, I'm talking more about the Halo Wars Definitive Edition that is on Xbox One. It doesn't really matter which version you play, this or the Xbox One version. They're pretty much the same game, except the Xbox One version just has a better frame rate and slightly better graphics and all of that stuff. But essentially, it is the same game. Now, if you don't have an Xbox One version of this game, just be aware that you can only get the definitive version as a downloadable code, which is on the Game Pass. So you can only buy it digital or Game Pass version. But I do just want to show that I do have the limited edition here of the Xbox 360 version, which comes with the game, and it also comes with this exclusive Spirit of Fire like patch here, which is still sealed, and like a little art book. Maybe I'll do a closer inspection video on that in the future or something. I've got to say that straight off the bat, guys, I'm a big Halo fan. I love Halo, and if you guys are following me on Mixer, just so you know, on Mixer I am doing a bit of a Halo marathon. Me and my friend are doing all of the Halo games. And we obviously started with Halo Wars, and we're continuing on with Halo Wars 2 tonight, so check that out. But, you know, straight off the bat, you know, what can we say about Halo that hasn't already been said? It's one of the best first-person shooters ever made. It made Xbox, you know, what Xbox is today. You know, it's one of their biggest exclusives. And of course, you know, Halo is one of those games you go back to and you play it and you enjoy it, you know. I put many hours into Halo 3, into Halo Reach, but Halo Wars was Microsoft and, you know, Ensemble Studios. This game actually is a much different game. So there's only two kinds of Halo games. There's the first-person shooters, and then there's the top-down. Well, there were two top-down, almost twin-stick shooters released digital. One of them was a mobile game, and then it released on PC. But Halo
Roger.
is completely different to both of them. It is a real-time strategy game. Now, straight off the bat, you want to laugh because real-time strategy games on console tend to be pretty bad. Normally when a real-time strategy game comes out on console, it's normally a port of a PC game, and without mouse and keyboard, I'm going to be honest, real-time strategy games without mouse and keyboard really do lose a lot of their playability. Now, that's not to say that real-time strategy games on console are bad. There have been really good ones. You know, on PlayStation 2, there was the Kessen series, for example. The Kessen series. There were 3 Kessen games on PlayStation 2, which were standalone, you know, console real-time strategy games, and they work really well. And that's what makes Halo Wars so great, is the fact that this game was made for console. It does have a PC version, I'm pretty sure, but I want to say straight off the bat, it works fantastically. And one thing I was very surprised at is that it actually has a co-op campaign. I don't know if the original does. I know the yeah, probably does as well. It does say it has co-op, but I was very surprised to see a co-op real-time strategy game that actually works pretty well. Graphically, the game looks pretty well. The second game does have better graphics in terms of environment, but I feel like the second game, the characters look a little bit more cartoony. I'm not really going to talk too much about Halo Wars 2. I'll mention it here and there. But so basically, this game takes place about, well, Halo Wars 2 takes 28 years after Halo Wars 1. I think Halo Wars is like, in the timeline, I could be wrong, before the original Halo game. So it's based before the original Halo. And you basically play as this army, the UNSC, if you're going on the campaign. and obviously the UNSC are the, you know, the Marines, and basically you're fighting against the Covenant in the Covenant Wars, the aliens, you know, the elites and stuff. What's really cool about the game is that straight off the bat, when you play it, that you do the first tutorial, the game does a really good job of explaining how everything works. One thing I will say is that the controls are fine-tuned for a controller. Normally when it comes to real-time strategy games, when they ported them over from PC to console, there's always a lot going on. Sometimes you have to hold one button and press another button to activate a certain ability or stuff like that. Whereas Halo Wars is really well done. You have your controlling your camera button, you're selecting your unit buttons. They're quite simple. One button select local units, one button selects all units. You can activate your abilities by pressing one button, your special hero abilities. You know, you can move with one button and attack with the same button, and you can also activate character special abilities with another button, and you know, and switch and flipping between bases, you know, is on the D-pad is quite simple. So if your base is under attack, you know, you can just press one button on the D-pad and there you go, you're straight back to your base. And that's what I want to start off by saying, is that the controls in this game are very well done for a console real-time strategy game. It doesn't feel overcomplicated, it's simplistic, but it works. The game doesn't overstay its welcome either. It only has about 14 single player missions / co-op mission. And like I said, the co-op campaign works really well. How it works is you both have, obviously, both players. It's only, I think it's only online co-op. I don't think there is single player split screen co-op, unfortunately. Basically, so if what I see on my screen and what my mate sees on his screen, it's the same thing, but basically units are split. So when you start the game, you know, a mission, your characters will have, you know, you might have like 2 Spartans and your friend might have the Marines, for example. And it works really well of trying to manage it. And I find the co-op campaign worked fantastically in this game, because it didn't feel like, you know, I was doing something wrong or my friend was doing something wrong. It really works on the whole micromanagement thing. So I could particularly go off and take one side of the mission or move my forces forward, and my friend could sit there and stay back and focus on building up the base. The game does offer online multiplayer versus and also skirmish modes, of course. And skirmish mode, you basically you have 6 armies you can play as. Well, 2 Covenant armies, 3 Covenant armies, and 3 UNSC armies. They're the same. They have the same units essentially, but the leader is different. So each leader has a special hero unit or a particular vehicle unit, and of course the special abilities as well are changed depending on what leader you play as. The skirmish is really fun in this game / versus. It's simplistic. It's quite simple. Destroy the other person's base, capture points, you know, capture the map, you know, build resources. And this game doesn't overstay its welcome either. You know, like I said, it says the campaign is 9 hours long, but me and my friend managed to do it in about 5 hours. So it's not a too long campaign. What I like about the campaign is each mission feels different from the last. So you might have a mission where, for example, there's a mission where you're on the ship and you have to protect these particular bases, so like a tower defense mission, and then you have missions which are quite, you know, destroy the other base. Other ones are like you have to hold off for a certain amount of time or retreat somewhere or escort. So it does have a variety in its mission, so it's not like a simple every mission is the same thing, destroy this, take that. You know, it does have a bit of variety into it. It still fits in with the Halo universe, of course, has all of those classic Halo vehicles and characters and you know, units, and of course, and you know, the idea of having a Halo themed real-time strategy game was a really good idea, and it worked fantastically. This game, in my opinion, could be one of the best console exclusive, well, I say exclusive, but one of the best console real-time strategy games, just because of how well the controls work. Like I said, it don't feel overcomplicated, it's quite simplistic, but it works. You know, managing your bases is simple, you know, you know, the same thing. You build your resources, you have your generators, you have your barrack, your vehicle depots, your upgrades, stuff like that. You know, it's not overcomplicated with all of these things going on. When you think of like other real-time strategy games like the Total War series, for example, I've always said I would love to have a Total War game on console, but now thinking about it, that game has a lot of strategy into it. So how well that would translate to a controller, I don't know. But this game was built for a controller and it works fantastically. And again, like I said, the idea of having a co-op campaign in a real-time strategy game was really good as well. It doesn't feel like it was, you know, it's still basically the single-player campaign just with a bit of help. You know, you can really work with your friend or something, or you can screw them over if you really want to, I guess. And it really, you know, a lot of micromanagement to it. The second game, however, I find we are still playing the second game. The second game does sort of change a bit from the first game. I still prefer the first one, I think, over the second one. Second one has more to it. There's more modes, extra special modes, new units and stuff like that. Graphically, it does look better, but like I said, some of the units look a lot more cartoony, more bright, and I'm not really sure why they changed the graphical style with it. You know, you've got a realistic setting. Why change, you know, the characters to look more cartoony, right? Basically, there are there are other unplayable units in this game, like the Flood, for example. You know, those zombie monsters, Halo aliens. There's also the Sentinels, and of course, there's also in Skirmish. There's also a Rebel UNSC unit which you can't control, which are like a AI unit. So it does do a good job of showing off all of the Halo enemies. So you do have your classic Flood in there, you know, the Sentinels, and of course, you know, the Covenant, the Elites, the Brutes, and for example, it does have a bit of a story to it, and the cutscenes are pretty well done as well. I do like the cutscenes. The second game has more in depth with the story than the first one, but overall, I think Halo Wars is a must-play for any Halo fan who is looking for something a bit different, but also a must-play for any fans of real-time strategy games. You probably can get it on PC, but if you want to play a real-time strategy game that doesn't rely on just a port from the PC, that really works well with your controller, check out Halo Wars. You can either get the Xbox 360 version or the Xbox One version. The Xbox One version is a bit better in terms of you know, functionality, but still either version works pretty well. It's just a great opportunity. It's just a great was a great idea, and it just goes to show that real-time strategy games can be done on console if done correctly. You know, all it takes is a little bit of time trying to fine-tune controls and not overcomplicating things, and you can have a very enjoyable experience. And you know, it has everything that you want from a strategy game. You know, building bases, micromanagement, you know, taking your units, using units for you know, the right things, you know, anti-air, you know, air against infantry, tanks against air, stuff like that. I know that's not how it goes, but you know what I mean. One series that I really did hope that would have got a console release was the Dawn of War series. I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's kind of sad, but Halo Wars, in my opinion, is one of the best real-time strategy games that I've ever played on console. There are plenty of real-time strategy games out there on console, over many consoles, but if you want one that's not going to really annoy you and doesn't feel clunky, doesn't feel like it's just a port, Halo Wars is a must-play. If I was to give this game a rating, I'd give it a good 85%, you know, 4.5 stars, maybe 4.5 stars, you know, 85 out of 100. Definitely one worth checking out. It's a great game for the Halo fans. It's a great experience. The second game, again, improves on a lot of things, but in my opinion, it changed some things that I didn't really enjoy. But again, I'll talk more about Halo Wars when I finish it and put more time into it and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video and want to see more reviews, feel free to leave a like. And of course, comment below. Let me know what you think of Halo Wars. Have you played it? Does this review make you want to play it? I'm sorry if I haven't explained too much. I don't want to go into too much detail. You want to try it out yourself, check it out. The Xbox 360 version is very cheap. You can get this game for less than £5. Even the limited edition is really cheap as well. Or if you want to get the Game Pass on Xbox One, get the Game Pass because it's basically on the Game Pass, so you can play it. Not an entirely long game, but there is some good hours to be put into it. Second game has more in terms of upgrades and leveling up systems, you know, the Blitz mode and stuff like that. But yeah, and of course feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TheMadKaiger, and of course follow me on Mixer. We will be playing some more Halo Wars 2 tonight. Hopefully might be able to get close to beating the game, and of course the Halo Marathon continues. After we've beaten Halo Wars 2, we will be playing through all 6 of the Xbox 360 Halo games through the Master Chief Collection, which is the Xbox One version, and then eventually get round to Halo 5 again, doing all the campaigns on Heroic, having a lot of fun. Check it out. I'll be live about after 7 tonight with Halo Wars 2 more than likely. And of course, guys, as always, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye. Halo Wars.